All right, so we back, so I'm just finishing up my heaven testimony. All right, so I totally shifted into this whole different universe. This like just a like this whole different parallel universe. Like, I mean, I was just instantly boom. It was just like 1 minute I was walking on Earth, hearing these demons cuss at me. Then I started hearing the word of God and hearing the voice of God, of a minister. And then boom, I was instantly translated from there into this whole different new atmosphere, this whole different world. So the first thing I realized is boom, as I got there, the first thing I realized, the first thing that struck at me was, the first thought that I thought was like, whoa, like what just happened, and what's this? You know what I mean? I'm like, whoa, what's this? What's just happening? Like, what is this? And then I stood there and I just remember just looking around from left to right, right to left. And I was just like at awe. Like I was just like whoa, like wow. So personally, like my trip was a little different because some people they actually would go to heaven and they'll see like the angels and people and they say they see family and they see like all these different people, but mine was different. I wasn't at that heaven. I was more like in a paradise earth. You know what I mean? It was like I went from the dark realm. I went from earth. I went living in the physical earth. When I went to sleep, I woke up in a dark realm earth. I guess this is how your spirit is outside of your body on earth. Then I got translated to this paradise earth, this totally beautiful earth. And the first thing, when I look left and I look right, the first thing I realized in the atmosphere, it was just straight beautiful. Like I was in a landscape that was just beautiful. I could see my broad and horizon. It was just beautiful, just green grass, high, like, perfectly cut green grass, kind of high. You could smell the fragrance of the grass, the flowers, the trees, and it was just like a mountain. It was just like a beautiful green mountain in the horizon. That's all I seen was like this beautiful green mountain in the horizon, and it's like you could smell the beautiful fragrance. And through the middle of this, from everything I was seeing, it was just this beautiful running river that ran through the middle of I can't even explain. Imagine a park. Imagine going to like a big beautiful park. Think of a big beautiful park, a landscape that you went to one time, where it was just like acres and acres of green, like just green. I'm talking about trees, mountain. It's just like beautiful, and there was a beautiful crystal clear river that ran through the middle of the mountain, the middle of the middle of the landscape, and the trees and then the flowers and the colors was very very bright, vibrant and beautiful. Like I knew I was like on an earth. Like this was like a earth, but this was a different type of earth. I can smell it now. Air was very 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 fresh. It was very very peaceful. um but the thing that stood out to me the most was that's the key word. The thing that stood out to me the most, it was very, very peaceful. Like this was supernatural. This was the supernatural part about it. It was peaceful. It was a supernatural peace. It was a different type of peace. It wasn't like the usual type of peace that we will get, or that you could think of. It's like I couldn't manifest the same type of peace on earth, like overall sense. I have felt inner peace and stuff, peace around me in times, but this was like a overall like uh peace, the atmosphere peace. I mean, the vibration of this place was peace. Like it was just supernatural. Like I cannot compare it to anything like on this world. It was just supernatural. It's supernatural peace. I mean, to the bone. You could feel it to the bone. I mean, the vibration, you could feel it to the bone. You know how it's totally different from this world. I mean, you know how this world, like, you have peace at times, but then you have so much other things that come into play in your life that it's not a perfect peace. I mean, this was a perfect peace, perfect. I mean, like, in this world, you have like, you get hungry, you have like anxiety, you could get worried, you can get fearful, you could be full of fear, you could be full of anger, and you can feel these things in the atmosphere. When you go outside, it's late, you want to watch certain places you walk because, the fear of danger, or certain places you go, people are skeptical. Like, there's it's vibrations, certain things that you feel in the atmosphere. Like, you get that feeling, oh, maybe I shouldn't go outside today, or maybe I should just stay home, or, I mean, these feelings that you would get in this world, like worrying, anxiety, fear, I mean, things like this that you'll get in this world, in that paradise earth that God showed me, it just did not exist. Like, these things, these type of feelings, these type of vibration, this type of energy it just didn't exist. It's kind of hard to like really grasp and explain, but it's like, it just didn't exist. Like, it just don't exist. It's weird. But this type of energy, emotion, vibration just don't exist. Like, you just cannot feel it. I mean, the only thing you can feel was peace, like, and it was just overwhelming to the core. I mean, to the bone. Like, it was just, that's all you can feel was just peace. Like, there was nothing more to feel. I mean, there was nothing. I mean, there was nothing. It's like, at that moment, it was just like, it took me a few seconds to process everything, probably like a 30 seconds. But then after that, it was just like, there was nothing else to process but peace. Like, this was like, wow, this is just peace. Like, that's all I could say. I know it sounds like redundant and repetitive, but that's all it was. Like, nothing else didn't exist. Nothing else didn't even matter. Like, I'm talking about, it doesn't even matter. Like, nothing, no thoughts of anything else came to your mind. But man, I just want to absorb all of this in. Like, I just want to just absorb this in. So while I'm there, like, in awe for a few seconds, I begin to walk through the land. I seen a tree. I seen a beautiful tree. I began to just walk. And I walked and I walked. And I was under the tree. And the tree had a shade. And there was just it was light. There was like really no darkness. I don't remember if the tree had like a shade. It probably had a shade, but it wasn't. But it wasn't like, there was no real darkness, and I remember just going under the tree, and there's like the most beautifulest breeze just like passing through, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, the breeze was just so beautiful, and just like, it was just like the whole land was just like peaceful, like everything was just full of peace. And I just remember just like standing under the tree, and then like I sat down, like, you know how you sit down, you kind of like sit down, cross your legs, and I just sat down, and I was just absorbing everything, and through my peripheral vision, I seen somebody standing like not too far from me, but like in a distance a little bit, and the person was like a tall, I could tell it was like a tall angel or something. Like, it was tall. It was like a tall entity. And he was just standing with his arms out. And he was just like, and he was just absorbing the whole thing too. He was just chilling, man. He was just like, but like, I was just so overwhelmed and so overtaken. Like, I didn't even bother to even like acknowledge him and say, hey, how you doing? Like, how's your day going? Are you enjoying this? Like, I'm enjoying this too. How's everything? Good? That was the wife and kids. I mean, like, yo, it wasn't even like I didn't even have no conversation with him, man. I didn't even really just. I just couldn't even have the time to just, hey, like, just to, what is that? Who is that? Nothing. It was just like I was just totally zoned out, just totally zoned out, overwhelmed, overtaken, and it was just beautiful. So as I sat there under the tree, and then I was just being overwhelmed. And this is basically how I got sent back. Um, as I sat there under the tree, and then I said, excuse me, I said to myself, just sitting there, absorbing all this, looking at this beautiful park, this beautiful landscape of our earth, feeling this beautiful atmosphere. I said to myself, I never want to leave here. And as soon as I said that, I went back. It was like, boom! I was back in this dark world. I was back in the dark world, and I was walking on my same street, but this time I was walking towards my house. I was back in the dark world, just walking towards my house. And then, you know, oh yeah, before I get to that part, let me backtrack a little bit. So the whole time, and this is how I know that it wasn't a dream. Okay, I'm gonna stop right here. I'm gonna stop right here, and then I'm gonna get to the third part because of time's sake, the rules and stuff like that. I'm gonna get to the next part, but let me stop right here so I can get to the next part for you guys.